Which, as in the next meeting?
Or either the second meeting in March.
We got to get it to you too.
All right.
Ready? Good morning and welcome to the City of Chester City Council meeting for Wednesday, February 25th, 2026. As always, we open with our prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Today, the prayer will be brought to us by Peter Land Parish Ministry, St. Catherine Drexel Parish. All rise.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts for the gift of this day, for the gift of our lives, and for your presence among us, and that you're pleased to be among us. Lord, we thank you for raising up these leaders of Chester for this time and in this moment to carry out the work you have called them to. We ask in a special way for your presence to be among us and to be among them this morning, to bless and guide their deliberations on behalf of this city and the people. We ask that you give them a spirit of wisdom and understanding, that they may know your will for this city and carry it out with courage. We ask for a spirit of faith, hope, and love to be in us and to be in them. Faith that they may proceed in confidence that you are working among them to bless and second their efforts for the common good. Hope that they may know that in you none of their labors are in vain. And charity, that they may have a heart full of compassion like your own for the afflicted and the suffering among us, and for the many complex challenges that the people of Chester are facing. Jesus, you taught us to call God our Father, and so we have the courage to pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory, now and forever. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you for that invocation. I appreciate it. All right, let's see who's here. Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams,
Present.
Green,
Present.
West,
Present.
Davis,
Present.
Mayor Roots.
Present. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the February 11th meeting?
So move.
Second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Public comment time for agenda items only. Do we have anyone? If so, step to the lectern in front of me. I see none. Old business, new business. Anything to share, council?
Yes, I'd like to share that there was a display of Black history at the Cat Center with Miss Twyla Simpkins, and it was very informative and very much needed, and I appreciate her efforts in making sure Black history is known within our community.
Is that still going on?
I'm not completely sure, but I could find out. I know they were there for a while.
I think she's there for the whole month. That's the Marketplace building on 4th and Townsend, I guess we'd call it.
4th Street,
And if you
2400.
go upstairs, the CAT Center, C-A-A-T Center, and they'll direct you right to the collection of Black history that Ms. Twyla Simpkins has on display. It is very worth seeing. And I know she's there till 6 o'clock, or she has someone there till 6 o'clock. I'm not sure what time she opens. And I think she was planning to have it for the entire month. I don't see it here.
I believe they opened up at 11.
I hope everyone got one of these on the table, the colorful what's going on in our community and what's coming up. I'm just looking at some of these now. They're all important. I must stress the mayor's lecture that's coming on March 3rd, Tuesday at 6 p.m. We've got two gentlemen. One's a professor at the University of Pennsylvania, the other's his student. And I met these guys back in October at an AI session up at the University of Pennsylvania. For me, it was kind of a way to get out the office, just to meet some new people, see what's new in AI amongst those brainiacs up at the University of Pennsylvania. What I did not expect was this presentation from this black man who's a professor up there who was talking about social media for the most part. Now, many of us are on social media, particularly Facebook in Chester. And if you're following the youngest people, like the ones in front of us here, sometimes us old folks don't know what y'all saying. And you're using emojis, which we don't even understand what the pictures are. So what these gentlemen are doing, Safe Lab is what it's called, Safe Lab. They're taking particularly posts that are made by young people in areas like Chester. This effort started in Chicago. They've brought it to Philadelphia. They use AI to help interpret what these social media posts are saying. So number one, adults understand it. But number two, they're looking for things like violent, where something might become violent or disruptive. And more importantly, or as importantly, they're identifying when the person who makes the post may need some help, whether it's family help, whether it's trauma, whether it's one of those issues. I was absolutely blown away at the presentation. I was sitting next to the other guy pictured, if you have the post. He's a student of the professor, and he's in his last year. He's about to do his dissertation, and I just begged him and pleaded him to come to Chester and use us as a laboratory to do in his dissertation. So like I said, they've done big cities, but not small cities. So I've invited the entire universe that I know in law enforcement to come down next Tuesday to see this, but you are invited too. It will be streamed live, and it's also archived on our YouTube page and website. Social media, community, and public safety is what it's called. We know that the police and the district attorney scour social media a lot, but I think I know that there's a lot that they miss. So that's where these guys come in with their AI tools. So that's the one I'm highlighting on this page. Then we get into the, oops. They never let me forget. We had an executive session. Are we saying the one we just came out of? Yeah, it was kind of a dual session. Because of the snow Monday, we didn't have our deliberative meeting where we go over the agenda items. So that was the purpose, but then we start talking about some legal issues and personnel issues. So it became an executive session, and I have to publicly announce those when we have them. This would be a perfect time to say hi to our special guest today, students from the Chester Charter
Scholars Academy.
They have it in initials here, Chester Charter Scholars Academy. Welcome. Who's representing them today as far as like teachers or faculty? Stand up, introduce yourself, talk real loud.
Hello, everybody. My name is DeAndre Butler. I'm student council president at CCSA, and this is my student councul. The main reason we're here is because
All right, hold on. Since you're going to speak, we'll bring you a microphone so people at home can hear you. And they have to leave at 11. That's why we're kind of front-ending them.
Hi, everyone. My name is Carrington Campbell. So at CCSA, we're having our first HBCU tour ever in history. And that is from March 16th to the 22nd. And we're going all the way down south to visit 9 schools, all the HBCUs. It's mainly seniors and a couple of our juniors. And we're doing fundraising for it. We're having a spaghetti night on Friday at CCSA. You can buy a ticket if you would like. And yeah, I just want to thank our principal and everyone in the city of Chester for helping putting this together and planning this, because it's a really great opportunity for our students here, and hopefully in the future we can keep doing this for all the students at CCSA. So yeah.
All right.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Hey, I'm so happy to see everyone.
So just to touch base on a little bit, get a little bit more specific on what's going on. So these students will be visiting, I'll actually be one of the chaperones on this tour. We'll be visiting 9 schools, all HBCUs. We're starting at Howard University, going to Virginia State University, North Carolina Central University, Morehouse, Spelman, Clark Atlanta, Tuskegee, Alcorn State, and Dillard University, all for a week. We're actually looking for donations, but every senior and junior that is going on this trip was required to apply to each one of these colleges, finish their FAFSA, so that means officially apply and make sure that you're financially eligible or initially qualify for these colleges, as well as select a recommendation or a letter of intent to attend these universities. So all of these students are moving with a sense of purpose, and these are what we're talking about when we're talking about building our kids and building our community. This is our future right here. So we're asking everyone to understand that their vision is our vision, and where they go, they bring us with them. So this donation, I'll actually be posting it. We'll share it, send it to Justin, so that way anybody that wants to donate, we're looking for anyone, just help support, make sure the kids can get proper stay, proper food, and actually enjoy themselves while we're going on this trip. So as I work closely at the school, these are my kids, these are my family, that I will call them. I want to make sure that they really feel the support of our community and know that what they're doing is something that's special to us as a whole. So thank you all.
And I'll direct this to the, oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
First, let me just say good morning to everyone and welcome to Chester City Hall. I had the pleasure of being at the school last week, and I talked to Mr. Jonas Crenshaw and also Rakaya, and they informed me of this trip, and they did give me some paperwork, and so I am going to be submitting to the city that we as City Council donate $1,000 to your trip. So I know last year as City Council we donated $1,000 to STEM so that they can take a trip to Baltimore to the Black Wax Museum, and we supported them. And so this year I'm going to ask that we send that same $1,000 to support you guys on your important HBCU trips. So good luck and best of luck, and to all of the City of Chester residents, to anyone who can donate, we're going to encourage you guys to donate and support our children, because the children are the future, and we must support them and help them become successful. So,
Thank you.
It's good to see all of the children here. Welcome to City Hall. And if there is anyone that is specifically in the room right now that would like to make a donation, talk to Councilman Davis so that these children
all right, we got
can get
one
the
standing up.
Oh, okay. You got to ask.
We got two, okay.
So is there any, is this like an auction?
We got
One more?
3.
Okay, here we go.
All right, we got 4.
Don't
We got
hesitate.
5.
And Councilwoman, I'm going to donate too.
We got 6.
All right, that's 6. Do we got a 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 11, 12,
7,
12, okay.
8,
All right.
9,
All right.
10. All right, that's what
Okay.
we talking about.
Raise them
I will
hands
make
up
sure
like it's a
everyone
big
gets the
deal.
information. No, I said I will make sure everyone gets the direct link for the information that you need.
Yes.
We got 10. Is there an 11th?
12, 13.
11th. There we go. Somebody said 12.
Best auction I've been to. It's all right. fundraising.
All right, this is what we're talking about. Thank you, guys.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We got to get some wicker baskets and just start
Yeah,
going up and down the
do
aisle.
it.
Take a collection.
Now, what I wanted to say to the students specifically is that I went to college. I did not have the opportunity to visit HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities. I knew one guy who had gone to Howard, and he had graduated, and he was telling me about, you should go to Howard, you should go to Howard, but I never visited. Now, if I had visited, maybe I would have been influenced, but I never visited. I went to the other three-letter designation for colleges, the PWI, the predominantly white institution. And I remember there was this black guy that started with me in engineering school, and after the first year, he transferred to Howard. And about a year after he made the transfer, he came back to the Villanova campus, and we talked. And the first question I asked, I said, what's the difference between engineering school at Villanova and engineering school at Howard, imagining that we were learning the same things. And he did confirm that we were pretty much learning the same things. But the difference, he said, was at Howard, they're trying to keep us there and help us stay to graduation. I felt at Villanova, they were trying to get rid of us. Now, that's not an affront to Villanova, because on the first day of class, the professor told us, look to your left, look to your right. One of you won't be here when it comes to graduation. I was the only black guy in the class, and I remember how bold I was. I looked at my left, I ain't gonna be me, it might be you, it might be you. But the reason he said that was because they couldn't accommodate that full class come senior year. So we started with 108, we graduated 49. I couldn't believe how close he was in those numbers, but that's just how many people they could accommodate as they moved on. They knew people would change majors or fail out or you know, go a different direction. So to have this opportunity to go to these colleges, to talk to the students who are going there, to see how far it is away from home, to get a sense of what's the difference between a Howard that's in a big city and some of the other ones that are out in the country, it's going to be really important. So take full advantage, ask a lot of questions, be curious, and make the wise choice. Now the donation screen is up there. That's not going to help anybody, though. Maybe, well, you'll know what it looks like when you get there.
It looks like if you go to ccsascholars.org/giving, and that'll take you to the donation portal, and then just in the comments type college tour with your donation. And
Okay.
we can post this link out later as well.
Councilman Davis, but while they're here, get the money, right? Assist them.
You see my phone is out
Yes.
So let's make sure that happens. Should we have them meet you somewhere, or?
Yeah, so directly following the city council meeting, you can meet me in our general common area for those who want to donate, and we can all get together and go directly to my office and make sure everything is handled in a timely and orderly fashion.
Great. All right. We've got 1, 2, 3 resolutions that we have to do. So, Madam Clerk.
Resolutions for final passage. Resolution 20, authorized to ratify approval of change order number 2 for LSN CMNE LLC, otherwise known as LSN Contractors and Construction Managers, to provide the additional work as outlined for the properties located at 517 through 519 Avenue of the States in an amount not to exceed $16,930.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? This resolution refers to our facade program. We're going to be upgrading the fronts of some of the buildings right out here on Avenue of the States. Madam Clerk.
Councilors Williams,
Yes.
Green,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Mayor Root.
Yes.
Resolution 21, authorized to accept the proposal submitted by C&E Business Solutions LLC to provide a three-phase comprehensive fleet management project to strengthen the city's fleet operations through improved assessment, implementation, and long-term optimization in an amount not to exceed $32,000.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes.
Resolution 22, authorize the reappointment of Catherine A. Feminella as a member of the Chester Housing Authority Board, term to expire December 31st, 2030.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Madam Clerk?
Councilors Williams?
Yes.
Green?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Davis?
Yes.
Mayor Roots?
Yes. Thank you, Madam Clerk and Council. Final things remaining, we have a report, but we're not going to do that first. We have one presentation, not two. The presentation we're going to do, and we're going to have them come up now, is from the Philadelphia Electric Company. Ms. Michelle Garrity will be presenting. Yes, thanks.
Mayor, as she's coming, we're not doing Andrew today.
We are not.
Okay.
Okay, thank you everyone for having me. My name is Michelle Garrity. I'm the External Affairs Manager for Delaware County at PECO. So what that means is I work with all the municipalities and elected officials in Delaware County. So I'm here today to kind of talk about all the gas work that we've been doing, and I know we've been inconveniencing some of you. So PECO is spending $9.3 billion over the next 5 years on infrastructure upgrades. So what that means is you're going to be seeing a lot more of us. We're going to be replacing gas mains, we're going to be replacing poles, we're going to be replacing electric cable, underground electric cable, you name it, we're going to replace it. So we have clearly been on Avenue of the States for quite some time. What we're doing there is we are replacing the gas main. We have put the gas main in the ground. We are transferring the services. So each customer that has gas on Avenue of the States, we need to come in and transfer their service to the new gas main. And what that means, and I know there's some controversy around this, is that we have to relocate all the gas meters from inside to the outside of the building. This is not a PECO rule. This is a Pennsylvania Utility Commission requirement. We are doing it everywhere. In downtown areas, we've already done it in Media. We're working in Upper Darby. We're working in over 20 municipalities in Delaware County. So that is what entails when we replace a gas main. And you probably have seen with this crazy weather, water mains are popping, gas mains are popping with leaks. So this is all preventative so that, you know, we're not going to have a gas leak where we're going to be out here digging up the road in the middle of the night. As for the condition of the roads, so what is out there now is called a temporary trench. We will come back when the weather warms. We cannot get asphalt right now due to the temperatures. We will come back and we're going to repave the whole road. So we do not have any intention of leaving the road how it is. We will be back to restore it. Due to the crazy weather that we've been having, the trenches will start to collapse and they will fail. InfraSource, who has been out here doing the work, they're keeping an eye on it and they will come back and fix it. So if you notice it looks like that's starting to fail again, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Andrew, and we will get back out here to fix it. So that is what we're doing in terms of our gas work. Any questions?
Yes, could you explain the meters themselves? We talked earlier this morning about the gas being admitted into the atmosphere. Can you speak on that?
Sure, the safety issue.
Yes.
Yeah, so the reason that the Pennsylvania Utility Commission is requiring the meters to be placed outside is, if you ever look at a gas meter, there's a piece on the meter that looks like a disc. That is called a regulator, and that maintains the pressure that is going into the building. That needs to come outside. If there were an issue, gas will vent outside, and there will be no problem. We don't want to leave them in the buildings, because if gas were to vent, and they were inside a basement, it could be a bad situation. So it's really a safety issue to get these meters outside.
And by them being outside, does it cause any harm to our environment?
No, that's a great question. I think as we mentioned earlier, kitchen stove. Yeah, the most gas it would release would be like if you turned your kitchen stove on for a second. So no environmental impacts. It's safe for it to vent in the air.
And my other question, I'm sure it will come up, but could you speak to the compensation to the businesses that have been affected by the recent issue?
The electric issue.
Yes.
Yes, okay. So that happened last week. So what happened was, we have underground cables in this area. Due to all of the rock salt and the water, rock salt got into it, and Commissioner Shirley, you can keep me honest here, if I'm saying this right. The salt got into our conduit, which caused the cable to fault. Due to the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide in the hole, it caused an explosion in the manhole. The vibration damaged some of the businesses along the road. Our claims department was on site. We're working with the businesses to address any kind of injury, harm that resulted in their business.
So if there's is there a link or something that can be
I
provided?
don't
to-
have a link. I believe claims spoke to every business that had damage. If that's not the case, we can let Andrew know. He can get it to me, and I can get someone from claims in touch with the specific business owner.
Thank you.
Sure.
I'll just say first, thank you for coming
Sure.
and doing this presentation. I think it's important to keep the community informed. And I also recognize that we have a 200-year-old aging infrastructure. And so it's important that we begin to put this new infrastructure in place. But what I will ask is that you do the best you can to communicate to the businesses downtown and to the residents on the work that you're doing, the timeline of this work, and what you're going to be doing. So that way, everyone is informed and they keep abreast of what you guys are doing.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Oftentimes, it's not, the communication may not be the best, and so the residents or the business owners, they may not get the information on time. They just show up, you guys are out there working, and, they can't get down the street or something like that. But just do the best you can to inform the residents in the community.
Yeah,
But-
I know we had some missteps over the summer, and we gathered here and we spoke with some of the business owners who were upset about lane closures, road closures. So we will definitely do better. When Kehoe, our paving contractor, comes out here, we'll definitely make sure everyone's aware and what the effect that is. And speaking of infrastructure investment, I just want to give you some numbers for what we're doing in Chester this year. So our gas work in Chester this year, it's about a $2.4 million investment. The paving that will result from that work is about $1 million. And then we have an electric project going on around Tillman, Flower Street. It's our Lamoken, we're upgrading the substation and all the distribution outside, poles, wires, that's about $7 million. So this year alone, without anything else that could be popping up that we could add in, we're about a little bit over $10 million that we're investing in infrastructure upgrades here in Chester.
And a lot of a lot of the streets will get new streets, and because you guys are doing curb to curb, correct?
So we typically pave the side of the street that we work on. Avenue of the States, we're all over the road. It will be curb to curb.
Okay. Didn't we do an ordinance that everyone was required to do curb to curb?
We did.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys
We'll
are
chat
doing
about
all of the streets curb to curb that you guys are working on, not just the side you're working on?
Yeah, we'll chat about it when the restoration comes, yes.
Okay.
Good morning. Sentiments to my colleague. Thank you for coming and thank you for presenting this information to the community. However, question, is there a direct liaison representative that you send out to specific areas that these businesses can reach out to directly, so that way they're not getting, I guess, the quote-unquote runaround? There's actually somebody they can talk to directly when they're coming to someone with a specific issue. So I know there's a specific person that you said about the claims department, but is there any type of liaison in the area that answers any business's question about further work being done or what type of maintenance will be going forward that they don't have to get from like the website or anything like that?
So when we are about to do a project, we drop a letter that has a customer liaison's name and contact information on it. That's for project work. So we have one for gas and we have one for electric. But as for the claims work with the incident that happened last week, they would be directed to the claims department. If you have somebody that needs assistance in some way, shape, or form, you can always have Andrew reach out to me and we can get them to the correct person.
Okay, thank you.
Michelle, I'd like to thank you and your team for coming out this morning and meeting with us. And we took a stroll along Avenue of the States to look at the meters that were put out, and you did a thorough explanation. As you can see, my colleagues were, they're in tune to what's going on with you, and I want to thank you. Matt, I want to thank you for being here the day that we had those serious potholes and sinkholes on Avenue of the States. You and your crew, you were here like most of the night, and I want to thank you for that. And Michelle has always been a good partner to the city, and so it's comfortable knowing that you're available and that we can come to you and ask our questions and what have you and be heard. I think at one time there was a meeting or something with the business owners.
In
You
August,
did have meetings.
yeah. Mhm.
Right. So I want to thank you for that. And like we said, communication is key. So we just want to make sure that we're all still communicating. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it. All I have to say is, if you're of a certain age, you might remember Ralph Brown. Yeah, she is the new Ralph Brown.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
been gone for a while, but yeah. He's happily retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have his phone number, I believe,
I
right?
do.
Yeah.
And his son works with us too.
There you go. So she is our community liaison.
Yeah.
Like she said, if it's anything PICO related to the councilman's question, just contact Andrew. He's in constant communication with Michelle. I sent Michelle a question and she says, "Am I in trouble?" That was her response. So we are in contact with her from the city. But thank you for all the work that PICO does. Again, PICO provides the city of Chester with electricity and natural gas. And it's really important. I was about to say a two-edged sword, but it's not a sword at all. It's just two utilities that have two different needs. In an old city like ours, to this councilman's point, we have old mains out there. The mains are gas-related, and then there's old electricity that has to be updated, and more so that's updated as needed. To know that $10 million of work is going to be done in Chester in the next, short period just is a testament to the fact that they recognize that this old stuff needs to be replaced, and especially when we're trying to grow and develop in the city. I will say that PICO is very easy to work with just because of the nature of what they do to get services to our new development areas. So just thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
And the installation of those meters on the outside, I just want to reiterate that it's mandatory.
It's mandatory
It's a
from
requirement.
Pennsylvania Utility Commission. It
Right.
started in either 2014 or 2015. So if you have a gas meter in your home, inside your house, we'll be contacting you soon. This isn't just related to businesses, it's residential. It's all gas meters that we have to pull outside.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
And now we have a report from our fire department. Commissioner Shirley, JP Shirley, John Paul Shirley. See you guys. See you.
Have a good one.
I'm just not with it.
He's got some slides, so you may want to look up at the monitors as he gives his presentation. It's going to be a lot of facts, a lot of numbers, but important stuff.
Yes. Excuse me. Good morning, Mayor, Council, members of the public. Thank you for having me up. Just wanted to do a quick, and I don't want to have my back to you, so I figure I'd kind of walk around a little bit and just go through everything that we have. It's a 2025 year in review of the fire department and also a little bit of looking into 2026, what the fire department's going to be doing this year. So make sure my clicky thing's working. And of course, it's not working now. It worked when we tested it. Try it one more time.
I'll click it for you.
All right, Justin, you're going to be my clicky. All right. So 2025, just incident number-wise, we had 2,836 total incidents for the year. 139 of those were outside of the city. We do provide mutual aid for municipalities that surround, but more importantly, those municipalities also provide mutual aid here in the city. So not only are we helping them, they're helping us. The way that, and I'll get to it a little bit later in the slide presentation, but the way that we code every incident, they're broken down to just different series. We had 269 fire-type incidents for the year, 661 rescue or EMS-type incidents, a little over 1,100 false alarms. And when I say false alarm, they're not necessarily false alarms, all right? It could be a couple different things. It could be, look, someone doesn't know how to cook, and they burn their food, this, smoke from the food goes up, sets the smoke detector off. So they're unintentional, accidental. Sometimes the alarm systems will malfunction, all right, but regardless of the fact, we're still coming out. And there are some false calls, people pulling a pull station, we get that over at Widener sometimes. But regardless of the fact, from the time that we receive the call, on average, in 4 minutes and 17 seconds, we are at your front door. All right, so we are getting there in that time.
Excuse me, Commissioner, I don't mean to
Yes, sir.
interrupt. On the last slide, I just want to be clear. Is that number 1,155?
Yes.
Okay. You added extra number.
Did I say 11, a little over 1,100?
No, your slide.
Oh, my slide?
More, yeah.
Oh, all right, yeah, all right. Much for proofreading. It's probably a fat thumb. All right, anyway, so moving on. Out of the fire incidents, we had 57 structure fires. Okay, so it's a little bit more than one a week. While not all of them are major fires like you see there, they did involve there was fire in a structure. All right, 12 of them were extra alarm fires, which means that the on-duty personnel that we have were not able to handle the incident. We had to either call back off-duty personnel, again, have fire departments from surrounding municipalities come in and help us out for those fires. 12 of those fires were extra alarms. We're required at least a second alarm. Sadly, we lost 3 residents this year to fires. On March 7th, we lost Jennifer Patterson. She was a mother, and there was a fire on November 19th, and we lost Sayer and Embraya Red. So I would like to just take a moment to just, pause and, remember them. So could just join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Anyway, moving on. Next slide, please. So, and it sucks because my clicky thing would work because these are like transitional slides, but yeah, just keep hitting the arrow button. But we, multiple extra alarm fires. That one was on West 9th Street, down on the 3100 block of West 9th Street. That was in Marcus Hook Trainer Borough. Again, we respond outside of the city. This was in Upland. Again, we went out and helped with that fire. And the last one, that's actually from the observatory of Widener University. That was a fire that we had, I believe it was the 700 block of West 9th Street. There was West 7th Street. There was 3 buildings involved. A very, very large fire. Crews had their hands full when they got there on scene, but they did a hell of a job. I actually got there probably 30 minutes after the incident, and it kind of reminded me of the wildfires in California. There was 3 houses, multiple vehicles, the ground was on fire, electrical lines were falling. It was a very crazy incident, but fire departments did a hell of a job putting it out. We also had 2 significant fires, extra alarm fires. Help me out, Mayor. Immaculate Heart of Mary Church on 2nd and Norris Street. That was Thanksgiving Eve. That ultimately rose to 3 alarms. And then on Christmas Eve, we had the 900 block of West 7th Street, where we lost about 3 row homes, probably had to displace about 5 row homes worth of people. West 7th Street was not the street to be on this year. Actually, 4 out of the 12 extra alarm fires were on West 7th Street. So, in addition to fire, our rescue EMS type incidents, 661 of them, 288 we were out assisting EMS. We'll talk about that in just a second. And 313 of them were motor vehicle accidents. 217 with injuries, 28 vehicle versus pedestrians. That's where, and 7 auto extrications. That's actually where we had to use the jaws of life to cut people out of their vehicles. Just to throw a little bit of humor into it, we did have to go out 61 times to assist the police department. Even cops need help, but no, I'm just joking around. That slide right there is, it's not the Chester Fire Department. It was the only funny picture I could find online about, firefighters helping police, but we do go out and help the police. And we also rescued a couple cats out of trees. It is true. That's us getting a cat out of a tree. But I will say that I've never seen a cat skeleton in a tree, so they will get down eventually, even if they don't call us. All right. End of April, beginning of May, as you guys are aware, Crozier shut down. They were our EMS provider for the city. Dr. Monica Taylor, the huge thank you to her, and Chief Shane Wheeler of VMSC. They came into the city and, without skipping a beat, picked up where Crozier EMS left off. And they're kind of our roommates now at the fire stations. We have a great working relationship with them. They are a great service provider, and we're happy to have them here. And the beautiful thing about it is that a lot of the paramedics and EMTs from Crozier came to VMSC. So a lot of familiar faces, and they knew the city, they know the residents, and they're able to care for them. It's just a continuity of care. I've said it before, I'll say it again, fire department, we just don't put out fires. If it's not a law enforcement issue, typically the fire department is involved. We're an all hazards department. We have a number, probably about 20 some firefighters that are trained in swiftwater rescue. So we go out and continually train in swift moving water. We have boats out on the Delaware River. And this past year in 2025, we became certified in ice rescue. So we actually, we'll jump in a frozen pond, and we run the burning buildings, jumping in a frozen pond. We do it all. We actually just did some refresher training last week. We were back in frozen ponds. But the reality is because we do see it here in the city of Chester. These are pictures from throughout the course of the year with just flood-related events where we had to either get people out of their cars. Top picture is there was a vehicle into Chester Creek that we had to recover. So even though we call these high-risk, low-frequency events, even though they don't happen very often, when they do happen, it's a serious type of emergency. Some of the other hazards that we train for: rope rescue, high-angle rescue, hazardous materials. Again, we do training throughout the course of the year for these types of incidents. The picture on the right, it's actually a live anhydrous ammonia leak, and we had firefighters suit up and go out and kind of contain the leak. And again, for just even though we're training for it, and the reality is, next slide, please. It comes into play. The picture on the left, we had a vehicle. I believe it was Ventura Apartments at the end of 22nd Street. There is Valley, I think it's Ridley Creek, but we had a vehicle go down and we had to set up a rope system to retrieve the victim. I know Mayor knows the picture on the right. Wade Dump, February 2nd of 1978. There was a major hazardous materials incident, fire that happened here in the city. It actually was one of the first Superfund sites for the United States, and it kind of wrote a lot of the federal laws that deal with hazardous materials. So it's kind of the birthplace, one of the birthplaces of how the entire country deals with hazardous materials. Right, happened right here in our backyard. And again, one of the other classes that we, or some of the training that we did this year, was for a industrial rescue. Anytime someone might find themselves trapped in, some type of situation, they got a ring on their finger, they're trapped in some type of machine. We have a bunch of industry here in the city. These take special skills on how to extricate victims out of these machines. So our firefighters have been trained up on how to do that. And I think there's one more picture. Yeah, so we do have a lot of industry here along the river, but just kind of any situation that someone might find themselves in, we're learning how to get them out of that situation. So firefighters, we save people, but who save firefighters when they need to be saved? We received a FEMA grant totaling about $55,000. Previous Fire Commissioner Rigby wrote that grant. Where we were able to train and equip all of our firefighters with bailout systems. It's basically a harness that they wear around their waist, and if they ever find themselves trapped on, an upper floor of a building and their exits are cut off, they're able to basically hook this rope system into the into the windowsill and kind of jump out the window and still be safe. We also, thanks to the Chester Housing Authority, there were some properties that were slated for demolition, and we did what's called a rapid intervention team class. And that was basically teaching firefighters how to save themselves. Or, save other firefighters had they fall through a floor, if, they have to be taken out a window. So it was just teaching firefighters how to save themselves. And we learned the basics in our fire academies, but this was a little bit more of an advanced training. The one picture on the left, you'll see that's a thermal imaging camera, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, but that's kind of what the images that you'll see through a thermal imaging camera. And I'll bring that up next. Mayor, I don't know if it was on the however many front pages that Chester had, but the Chester Fire Department had its own front page. We also received another FEMA grant where we were able to purchase placards to mark unsafe buildings. As you can see in the top picture, that building looks perfectly fine from the front. Our firefighters roll up on it. It's on fire. They're going to want to go through the front door and put it out. But if you actually look at the back of the building, the entire building's missing. So we were able to placard these buildings to make sure that's just an added layer of safety for our firefighters. Thanks to the city, mayor, council, the receiver, CETA, Representative Kazim's office, we were able to purchase a 2025 fire engine that's going to be replacing some of our aging fleet. So that was a good thing. And then also through CETA, we were also able to replace a command vehicle. So we're updating the fleet. Looking forward to 2026, and again, thanks to Mayor, Council, the receivers team, we have a ladder truck that is in need of replacement, and they've come through with funding in order to purchase this new ladder truck, which we will be taking delivery of in October.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
I know you're about halfway through. One thing you didn't say, how big is the fire department? How many total personnel that we have?
We have approximately 60 personnel.
60?
Yes.
Okay. We know that the students have to leave in a few minutes, so just keep going.
I'll try and wrap it up real fast so they can hear the whole thing. Again, just the investment that the city is placing into the fire department has allowed us to purchase thermal imaging cameras. Every firefighter that now has to go inside of a burning building is outfitted with one of these thermal imaging cameras. So they're about $1,000 a piece. But they are not only good for the safety of the firefighters, but in terms of searching and rescuing victims. Not to, again, bring up a very difficult subject, but the Wilson Street fire where we lost Sayer and Briah, from the time the firefighters initiated the search, they were able to locate and remove Sayer in 1 minute and 22 seconds, thanks to this camera. They were able to locate him very, very quickly. Aside from their bravery, 2 firefighters were actually burnt. But the technology and the investment that the city is making in the fire department, I just can't be thankful enough for. So October, we had a open house. That's where the community could come out and meet the firefighters that serve them. They could check out the equipment that the firefighters use and learn a little bit about fire prevention. And I have to thank Mr. Ed Nelson, who was a huge help in making this a fun event with supplying the DJ and the clowns and the bounce house and all that other stuff. We will be having another open house in October again, which is Fire Prevention Month, and hoping to make it bigger and better than last year. Mayor, I know you did ask for an Office of Emergency Management update. So I want to say it was about June of last year, the city, for the first time ever, hired a full-time emergency management position. Huge help. Emergency management is a all-encompassing type department that covers multiple areas. But since being hired, the Office of Emergency Management Personnel, she has been instrumental in updating the emergency contacts list, notification and resources manual. She's been assisting not only the city, but child care facilities, industries with their emergency operations plans, response checklists. She's been involved with some of the special events like the Delco 10 Miler. There was a breakaway music festival, 2 or 3 day music festival down at the Subaru Stadium that she was involved with, handling the Union games. She's actually with the upcoming FIFA games this year in Philadelphia. Philadelphia Union are going to be doing some practice down there, or some of the teams will be doing practices down at the Philadelphia Union. She actually applied for a grant for us to be reimbursed for any type of overtime we might be incurred. She's also been out with incident response from some of those multiple alarm fires, assisting with the issues that have been talked about at length with the Banneker, and just strengthening partners with all the industry, non-governmental organizations like the Red Cross, Salvation Army, our schools, Chester Upland, the charter schools, Widener University, just really strengthening all those partnerships.
All right, hold on again.
Yes, sir.
All right. Here's what I want you to do right now. Since we have students here, they all live at home. Give them some advice as to what they should be doing for fire prevention in their homes. So one of the things that struck me with your numbers compared to last year is that I think there were a whole lot more vehicle fires than there were structural fires.
No, I think there was 23 vehicles, perhaps.
Compared to last year. Compared to last year, I think I remember more vehicle fires than structural fires.
You got a much better memory than I do.
All right. In any case, like houses do catch fire. What's the most common things that go on that create the fires in the homes, and what can we do to help prevent them and keep us safe in our, not in our homes, but?
Not a problem at all. So what I will say is that the most common cause of fires in the home is careless cooking in the kitchens. Okay, so making sure that you're attending to the food as you cook it. Also, as well as electrical fires, having multiple things plugged in, or like a surge protector where you have multiple things plugged in. Those will cause fires. The cheapest extension cords aren't always the best. As electricity goes through cords, they'll start to heat up. And again, if you start putting things over top of them, that just basically kind of insulate it, and it can cause it to heat up. So what I would say is careless cooking, and just make sure that you're not plugging too many things into outlets. Smoke detectors are very, very important. You should have at least one smoke detector on every level of your house. Practicing a fire drill with your family is very, very important. Knowing multiple exits out of your house. But I will say, and next slide, please. I'll bring it up. The most important thing you can do, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, is please, please, please sleep with your door closed. Okay? If anything is going to save your life, it is going to be sleeping with a closed door. The 2 photos up here are just pictures of bedrooms where one door was left open, one door was closed. And you can see that in the door that was closed, you would never know that there was a fire in there. So aside from smoke detectors, fire extinguishers, if anything's going to save your life, it is sleeping with your door closed. All right, if we can go back, I don't want to get too much into it. Is there another slide before that? No? All right. The radio system, the entire county, police, fire, EMS just updated the radio system to the 700-800 megahertz system. It was about a $40-50 million investment from the county. The city probably received about, I'd say, $500,000 to $750,000 worth of radios that we did not have to pay for. Thank you, students, for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your day. So police and fire are now equipped with the most current technology in terms of radio communications. And again, huge investment by the county. Not really too interesting, but we also switched over, like I was talking about before, the way that we code all of our fire type incidences. They switched from was the National Fire Incident Reporting System to the National Emergency Response Incident System. I forget these acronyms, but we just switched over the way that we're collecting data. So the way that we collect data now is going to be a lot more detailed and allow us to get a little bit more granular with what it is that we're dealing with, so that when grants do become available, we'll know exactly what it is that we need to address to ensure that we're providing emergency response and public safety as best we can. The fire marshal's office, they've been out doing inspections, life safety inspections. We're looking to ramp that up in conjunction with LNI, but they were out helping, and again, as discussed before with the Banneker and some other projects as well. We did receive a grant from the State Fire Commissioner's Office. It was, about $90,000. It allowed us to refinish the floor at the one firehouse, so we're improving the infrastructure and the stations. We did, you can go back to the slide. Shame Michelle's not here, but I wanted to thank her. PICO and Delaware County Interactive Gaming Revenue Authority, we received grants to purchase smoke detectors so that they're available to the public. Smoke detectors now are about like $30 a piece, so they are expensive. We have a little bit of money in our budget to purchase them, but a lot of the purchases of smoke detectors, we rely on grants. Already talked about that.
You guys still give them out free?
We still do give them out for free to homeowners. We do have people who come up who are renters, and at that point, it is the responsibility of the property owner to install them. And when we do get renters who come up asking for them, we get their information, and then we follow up with LNI to make sure that the property is registered and inspected. Because if they don't have smoke detectors, it's probably not registered, probably not inspected. What else is going on there? So, you know, we just like to follow up that. But we do have them to give out for free.
Would they be, I'm sorry, would they be just the fire, just the regular smoke detectors, or would they have the CO?
So we only have a couple of the combination smoke CO detectors left. They're actually even more expensive, and we try and get our biggest bang for our buck when we do get this grant money. So most of the smoke detectors we have are only just smoke detectors, not the combination smoke COs.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Drove Santa Claus around this year again. So I don't know if Councilman Davis was out there freezing, but
Yes.
yep. So So Santa Claus came around. So that was towards the end of the year, and again, CETA was able to allocate some money for the fire department, where we were able to purchase a training prop that will allow us to help the public get hands-on with actually how to use a fire extinguisher. A lot of people in Candace here said she watched a bunch of movies, thought she knew how to use a fire extinguisher just because it looked simple, and then when she actually got her hands on it, she realized, she's like, it's not as simple as it looks. But and they were able to get us some equipment for our firefighters. Cancer is the #1 killer of firefighters. We're 7 times more likely to get cancer than the general population. We got turnout gear bags that allow us to store our firefighting gear in these bags, so that when, if we have to drive from one station to the other, we're not just throwing it in the back of our car and kind of cross-contaminating and possibly getting our family members sick. The strap at the bottom, it's called an Anderson Rescue Strap. It was invented by a firefighter for saving firefighters and civilians, and we were able to outfit all of our firefighters with those rescue straps. So God forbid they ever need to use them. I already kind of talked about a little bit of 2026, but 2026, just moving forward, there's going to be more training. That's all we do. We prepare for whatever it is. We're going to be doing some training where we're going to be teaching our firefighters how to respond to active shooter type situations, as well as some other technical rescue type incidences. I already talked about the apparatus that we have on order that's going to be delivering in October. On Monday, I'll be presenting to Mayor and Council updated civil service rules and regulations for the hiring of firefighters. We're looking to get some new firefighter recruits. We've had some openings in the fire department due to retirements and resignations. So we're looking to get some new recruits. We'll be back out again doing block checks to see what buildings have been improved or might have started to deteriorate. Those change every year. And I already said it before, but look forward to October having another open house where you guys can come out, meet your firefighters, and learn some fire prevention, fire safety material, as well as check out the equipment that we use. Other than that, I know I'm over my 3 minutes, Mayor. I apologize. So, yep, that's all I have. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to moving the department forward in 2026.
Commissioner,
Yes, sir.
what I didn't see on here that is pretty cool and efficient is the drone. At the last fire on 7th Street, I was out there with the emergency management personnel, and she was operating a drone, and it was probably like one of the coolest things I've ever seen in terms of, you know, being able to fly over the fire and see, I think, where people were in the building, how hot it was, and, you know, all different things like that. So
Yep. Yeah, it's just one more layer of technology that we have, that we're able to put eyes where we never had eyes before, and kind of see through thermal imaging cameras, like, you know, where these small hot spots are. And but yeah, very, very good point. Thank you. I didn't even really think about that, but yep. Just one other thing that she does. We have a couple of our drone pilots, but it's just one other piece of technology that we have that allows us to respond to these incidents more safely and efficiently.
thank you.
I think we learned through this presentation that the fire department is one of the most complex operations that you could imagine. Don't go anywhere yet, because there's one more question. Get up there. There's one big question that I want to ask you, and I know you know the answer. Because of the complexity, because of the number of employees, because of the expense of those pieces of equipment, the training, it's a large hunk of the city's budget. How large of a chunk is it? What's the city budget just for fire?
10%? Rich, am I about 10% of the city budget?
10% of the city budget amounts to about $6 million?
Yeah.
He's
well,
trying to be shy.
Well, it's more complicated because one piece of equipment is $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you lump that kind of number in, it has huge impacts. And while I'm talking, one thing you did mention is that your team actually doesn't quite raise money, but you get reimbursed through what you do. Speak to that.
Yeah, so we're kind of like an insurance policy. You pay it even though you might not ever need to use it. But we do have, it's a third-party billing company that was set up by the city for cost reimbursement through insurance companies, things of that nature. But we probably receive between $100,000 and $150,000 a year in cost reimbursement from just responding out to incidents. And budget-wise, like, I kind of break it out to where, like, I don't really look at the salary portion, and I know that's probably about 90% of my budget is a salary portion, but then we also have the operational budget where it's, you know, cost for training, equipment, and as to Rich's point, that ladder truck is $1.4 million. And we ordered that 2 years ago. If we were to order that same truck today, it's like $2.2 million, and that's a whole different story I'm not going to get into.
The only other thing I want you to share is how does the Chester Fire Department compare to others in Delaware County?
So the Chester Fire Department is a 24/7, 365 career department. We have people here 24/7, 365. Upper Darby just recently went to a 24/7 model. There are some fire departments that might have one or two firefighters that are there 24/7, but we are the only completely career department in the entire county. So there are people there 24/7. We don't rely on volunteers. While we do use volunteers from surrounding municipalities, and God bless them, these are people who, you know, set aside, you know, their time. You know, they leave the family dinner table to answer the call for free. So we're very fortunate. But the city is protected 24/7 by, at a minimum of 12 firefighters on duty at all times.
So we are the standard that's set for fire companies in the county.
Yes. Standard, but I should say the only 100% career department. Other departments, while they have career staff, they also rely on volunteers. We are 100% career staffed.
All right, that's all I have. Anybody else?
Commish, can you speak to, I guess, the recruiting process and how that looks? So I've got in regards to like publication, how can people be notified on when to apply? Because I'm sure that you want as many candidates as you can, as you all handle so many difficult situations and tasks.
We do, and again, we'll be discussing this on Monday with the revised civil service rules, but there will be a notification made through social media, word of mouth, at least 30 days before our testing process. We go through civil service, so there is a testing process that is required. You don't have to have any type of firefighting experience to get the job. We provide all training that is required. But what it really boils down to is there'll be an advertisement for the position. Applications will be submitted. There's a physical agility test that will need to be passed. Once the physical agility test is passed, background checks will be done. As long as you pass the background check, then you'll sit for a written. If you pass the written test, you'll move on to interviews, and then depending on where you fall on the list, how many we need to hire, that's when you would get your conditional offer of employment, and then you would attend a fire academy.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are very fortunate to have you leading the fire department. Thank you so much for the work you and your crew does.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all.
Real quickly, some of you may have realized that it snowed this week. And we're going to bring up Andrew Heyman, our Director of Public Works. He has a full presentation that he'll do at the next meeting, but we just thought it would be right for him to give us an update on snow removal, especially comparing this past snow with the last one.
Good morning, Mayor, Council. Thank you for bringing me up. Grateful for the opportunity to talk about some of our snow clearance efforts here in the city of Chester. So I think in talking about the storm that we just had a few days ago, it's important to compare it to the one we had about a month ago and how it differs for us and some of the challenges that we faced in that storm that we did not face in this storm. So obviously everyone is aware, about a month ago we faced a pretty terrible snowstorm, but the worst one we've had in about 10 years. The amount of precipitation we received is very similar to what we received in the storm this weekend. But the big difference between that storm and this storm was that a month ago, temperatures were almost 40 degrees colder than during this storm. And so what that means is that there was no radiant heat in the ground to help melt some of that snow, work with us to help clear it. So obviously, as a result, we had snow on the ground for weeks after that storm. And really, there are still piles of snow from that storm even today, even here around City Hall. This storm that we faced this time, it was not the same. There was a lot of radiant heat in the road that created other challenges for us I'll discuss in a moment. Staff came in, we approached it very differently as a result. With the last storm, we were able to pre-salt. So staff came in actually before precipitation even began. They came in hours before it began to put salt down on the roadways. Unfortunately, as I believe I discussed here previously, road salt stops working as effectively in the 20-some degree mark, and by 12 degrees does not work at all. And a lot of that storm was below that 12-degree threshold, so the salt really wasn't working with us, but we were able to get it down, and so at times temperatures rose high enough for it to work. We could see a little bit of melting on our roads. But this storm, it was so warm, it started out as rain. Putting down road salt beforehand would have made no sense. It would have washed away. So staff did not come in until hours after precipitation began with this storm, once they were able to actually effectively plow. Temperatures, again, were warm enough, and the snow's consistency was such that we were able, in most cases, to plow a road, salt it, and that was sufficient for clearance. So the staff came in on Sunday evening about 4 p.m., working in 12-hour shifts. They worked nonstop until about Tuesday at 4 a.m., at which staff went home and then returned for their normal 8 a.m. scheduled hours. Another comparison to the previous storm, we went through about 400 tons of road salt last month. That's essentially 100% of our storage capacity. We were able to restock in the time period leading up to this storm, so we were totally covered. By comparison, we only used about 50 tons of road salt for this storm, so about 1/8 as much salt as we had previously used. Another thing that was unique about this storm was that it was very windy, and so a lot of the snow tended to accumulate in streetlights, especially I noticed in the area of like 12th and Edgemont, or along Providence Road, and so streetlights were so thoroughly coated with snow that you actually couldn't see the color coming up to them. I noticed that in early Monday morning. But fortunately, we have a new bucket truck that the city acquired last November, something that I think was a critical asset, and it was extraordinarily useful here. Staff were able to go up in that truck and brush snow out of those traffic lights. We know the temperatures were warm and it was going to melt, but we didn't want to allow those dangerous conditions to continue. So staff were able to go out and clear out a good number of these traffic lights, and we're able to do so rapidly and at a cost savings to the city that I think would have been significantly costly if we had called or had even been able to get a contractor to come out and do that work. So staff have returned to normal hours now. They are still moving snow from January's storm in some cases. So snow tends to accumulate in intersections. You'll see the large piles around. And so where those piles represent hazards to vehicles, block visibility, and when able, staff are still moving those piles of snow across the city. If you go to the 7th Street basketball courts, you'll see mounds of snow that we couldn't even get an estimate on the weight. It was so significant. But there are other locations around the city that we've used to put those piles of snow to allow them to be sort of out of the way. Hundreds of loads of snow at this point that we've moved. And we will continue to move. There may still be a few alleyways we're clearing as we encounter that aren't clear to make sure trash trucks can get through. But other than that, the majority of our staff's efforts have concluded. A couple other last mentions, things I want to mention before I ask for any questions is we had, even though City Hall was closed, on Monday, we had Caprice Clark come in. She did a fantastic job again, as she did during the last storm, fielding resident calls or concerns. But to compare, the previous storm, we received 355 calls from across the city with complaints, concerns, or for assistance. We received about 20 for this storm. So it was a very different call volume than we anticipated, I would say. And I want to thank my outside staff again. I mean, I hope residents appreciate, and my interactions have been that people do, that these guys work really, really hard. I mean, they do a fantastic job. They care. They pay attention to the details. I've been fortunate to experience other municipal public works departments out there. And our Parks Department, by the way, Mark Alexander is not only is he a good friend, but he has done a fantastic job being that backup. His experience with snow removal is also tremendously helpful. And his guys do a great job and partner with our department and the Parks Department. We couldn't do it without them. So, but our Public Works Department is really second to none that I've ever encountered. They did an amazing job, and we're very fortunate to have them.
I don't have any questions because of your inclusiveness of me in the operational part, and you keep me informed because I am the chair of the Public Works Committee, and I have constituents who they call all of us, wanting to know what's going on. I want to thank you and your team for the hard work during both snowstorms. The first one was extremely challenging. And I'd like to thank Mr. Director Mark Alexander and his team, the Parks Department, because it is a team effort. We all get together and we work hard together to make sure that our community and the people in the community are safe. Caprice Clark was here during the first snowstorm, and I mean, it was horrible, but she came in anyway. So I just want to thank you for all of your hard work.
It's my pleasure, and I really deserve almost no thanks. I think the department, it's a testament to the years of hard work that were put in to create that department, and I'm happy to help continue to work with these folks and support them. We're really grateful. I want to mention, so I mentioned this after our last storm, but I think it's worth discussing again, just quickly. that in most municipalities, so I was, for example, I served as a council member in Upper Darby Township previously when I was a resident there, and I served before this position as a municipal manager for Fallcroft Borough. And in those communities, you've got an average of about 660 residents per mile of roadway that the municipality maintains. Both of them, even though they're very different sizes and in different places, are remarkably similar in that way. But in the city of Chester, we have only about 400 residents, or just slightly more than 400 residents for every mile of road that we maintain. So what that means is that we've got more miles of roadway to maintain disproportionately more miles of roadway to maintain compared to our population than many other municipalities do. And we do that with a public works department that is significantly smaller than a lot of other municipalities. So we're starting out of the gate with a real challenge. We had 5 plow trucks out during this last storm at peak. In Fallcroft, which again is about 1/8 the size, I would have had 3. So, that shows you just what we're facing, and our staff handle it perfectly. I mean, they really do. They did a great job. I think our roads were, these storms are stressful, and resident frustration is completely warranted. But I think our roads were in better condition than, or at least as good as everybody else.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Usually when these weather forecasts come, they scare folks. And oftentimes there's advanced emergency declarations, whether it's from the little townships or the county, sometimes the state. And in these last 2 storms, we did not have a emergency declaration. There was no signing by the mayor that there's an emergency pending, primarily because we just wait to see what's going to happen and to see if our guys can handle it. In both cases, we did. So we got this little running joke among a small group of us here is that we don't declare, we prepare. Okay, so you guys can ride with that one. He mentioned traffic lights, and I want to mention 7th and Barkley. That's been a pain in our side and your side as well. It's been a blinking light, blinking red in one direction, blinking yellow in another direction. You will find now that it's blinking red in both directions, and we put stop signs on all 4 corners to make sure everyone stops. The issue there is that we found out it's going to cost close to $30,000 to fix that traffic signal. Just like so much infrastructure in the city, those traffic lights are old, and every portion that makes a traffic light work needs to be replaced with new equipment. So as we decide where we want to spend the money that we can spend on traffic lights, 7th and Barkley just doesn't seem to be as busy an intersection to require that investment right now. So I just need people to stop on all 4 ways. We got to keep the lights blinking. I wanted to turn them off, but they need to maintain their blink to just keep working. But just be aware that that's going to be a 4-way stop for the foreseeable future. Now we get to public comment. We have 2. Carolyn Tillery.
They did put the stop signs.
Yeah, stop signs are up. Is Carolyn still here? Hi. You've got 3 minutes. You can watch the clock go.
Okay.
And it's all about public comment, no question and answer.
Okay, I got to figure that one. But good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here. It's a question, but I know you can't answer it, right?
Well, we can direct you to who can answer.
Okay. Well, I hate rumors, and it looks like you guys are feel like I do. The more information you get, the better you are thinking. And there's this rumor going on that they're going to be changing the routes in which the trash goes through our city. And I'm like, okay, if that is true, can the public be a part of that conversation? If not, at least know what routes they're thinking about diverting it to. I want to kill it before it gets.
Okay.
Anyway, that's my comment. That's it.
Is that all?
That's it.
All right. Well,
I'm not hard to please.
No, you're not. And it's, I say we're not going to answer any questions, but something like that is really simple to answer. We sat with the trash folks just recently to confirm that the routes that they have are the ones that we're going to maintain. So there is no effort. I don't know where you heard that rumor to divert or change trash.
See,
now,
that's what I want to know. That
we're
makes me
fine.
feel better.
We want to keep
Okay.
the big trucks off the city streets. We want to make, they do have defined routes that they have to follow when they bring trash into the city. And both Covanta and the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority were at the table.
Okay.
And they're actually watching the trucks as well.
And I got a couple of minutes, so I want to thank you guys. My trash got picked up when it was supposed to, and I'm so happy about that because it was this big problem with it. But now you straighten it out, so thank you.
Okay. Mr. Cotman, Jamil Cotman, thanks for your patience. Thanks all of you for hanging in there, hanging in here today.
Good morning, Mayor.
You've got 3 solid minutes.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, Council.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. My daughter did a study, and she's mad she couldn't be here today. She had a test. But she wants to know, well, it's a thing that she have done, that think about y'all working 24 hours straight. Now think about y'all working 36 hours straight. Now think about y'all working 48 hours straight. She just did a study on the city's police department, and that's what they're dealing with on an everyday basis of working on their regular shift 12 hours, might pick up another shift to do a double and have to work another 12 hours. That's 24 hours straight. And then they still got to do their shift the next day. That's 36 hours a day that means straight that they're working. When she did the study, and I helped her out, and I was confused because the numbers that she came up with as me and her talked to different officers, the sign-on is $70,000 to be a police officer here. But you don't get you get 70% when your first year. That means you're making $56,000 your first year. When you start and you get your full 100% at 3 years, do we not know our inspectors for the city of Chester is getting $46,000 just as an inspector? I'm asking the mayor, council, the receiver, I don't know where he went at, and the finance. I'm asking y'all to try to make things better just to help the police department. The reason why I'm saying this is because we talk about Covanta, the trash is coming down here, and the safety of the community. Well, our biggest safety is the police, because we talk about the way that we talk about how they treat us. Well, if I'm working and I have a split decision to make and I haven't slept in all these hours, what could be the consequence? The reason I say this is because if it's telling me to grab my gun, my taser, and I grab my gun, what are we going to say? And if it's our family that's getting shot instead of tased because the officer's been up all these hours? I'm asking, can we find more money to help these officers to come in? We're losing officers right now. If y'all don't know, that our police department is supposed to have 102 police. We have 50 police. 50. And when we say 50 and we losing, if you go back to look at what's going on right now, we're losing officers every month. We losing 2 officers just this month that we losing. I'm asking, can we go back, see what can be fixed, and try to help some of these officers to bring more officers here? Because we look at Marcus Hook, we look at Marcus Hook, we look at Trainer, they're offering over $100,000, and we're coming in at less than half that price. I'm just asking, can we start looking into other things, because our health is in danger. Thank you.
To your daughter, to your daughter's study, that's very, very encouraging. And I would offer her to compare it to the study we did with officers and the time that they spent. Any other closing comments from council?
I just like to remind people that when you're shoveling your snow from around your car, please, please do not put it out in the street, because we have a number of residents who are putting snow back out into the streets that have been plowed, and that takes away from the work that has already been done by our Public Works and Parks crew. Also for this week, a reminder that we're on a holiday trash pickup week because of the snowstorm on Monday. And that's all I have.
And just really quickly, thank you, Mr. Cobbin, for coming up. I would hope those numbers are wrong. Now, I don't know, but I cannot imagine a police officer working 36 hours straight. And I've never heard of a police officer in the city working 36 hours straight. And I would hope we don't have police officers working 36 hours straight. And I believe the chief, you can answer if that is true or not.
I don't have that data, so I don't believe that's the case. They do work 12-hour shifts, so there are times in which they're on a 12-hour shift. They may get called back, depending on if there's an ongoing investigation. They may be called on for another 12, so it wouldn't be unreasonable to think that it's 24 hours. If it's 36 hours, I'm not aware of that.
Thank you.
And just for clarification, we are in active negotiations with the FOP for a new contract. The receiver, myself, we're sitting in on those meetings with the FOP. Jamil, you make a real good advocate for the police department when they're advocating the very same thing that you're advocating for.
Yes, and I'm going to be very brief and quick. Thank you, Mr. Koppman, for coming up here and bringing that not only to our attention, but to the community's attention. We do need more police officers. I'm always the major component of competitive pay. I believe people should definitely get paid their worth, and the more money you make, the more willing you come in to do your job and provide and protect your family, and all those things go hand in hand. It's a trickle effect. So thank you for that. Secondly, I just wanted to give a brief communication to the community. Our wonderful hometown hero banners that we had displayed had to come down. Because of our beautiful bucket truck, we were able to do it ourselves this time, but we did not want to lose any banners to the storm, have them damaged or anything like that, weather conditions. So any family members that did pay for their banners to go up, please give us a call. If you're looking for them to want to know where they are, we have them. We just want to let people know that they're not lost or anything. If you're looking for the banners and see that they're not up, they had to come down due to weather conditions. So we just want to communicate to families, still apply. We're still accepting applications to order more banners so the city can be covered with them at some point. But just for right now, they're not up due to weather conditions and different things of that nature. Thank you.
Hey, remind people to meet you.
Oh, yes. And as well as, thank you for reminding me, Mr. Mayor. If you're still meeting me in regards to the donation to CCSA, you can meet me out in the common area. We'll go directly to my office. I'll send out the direct link to the school where you can donate, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Good job, guys.
Yeah, so they were, Councilman, I need you, they were doing, the children that are going on the trip are doing spaghetti. You want some work? Well, you might be worth count. I was trying to hold on to you, so I told Karen to bring it up here so you can see it and all the name of the schools that you're going to.
And I'm supporting.
Me and Janelle. Okay, how are you today?
I'm super hungry.